Hi, I'm Tom.
I'm Matty.
And I'm Lewis.
This is the Wigan Way, Wigan's favourite rugby league podcast.
He'll put you in his trap 'cause he's a union man. He's got it all figured out. He won't care what you think 'cause he's a northern man. He's allowed to speak his mind. His
The Wigan Way podcast is brought to you by Cherry and White Pins, a local Wigan Warriors themed pin badge company with a variety of Wigan ranges. You can get free shipping on all orders when you use the code THEWIGANWAY, that's The Wigan Way, all in capitals, at checkout. Thanks to them for supporting the show.
So we're back now for our first league review, first game review I should say, sorry. And there's a win at Sheffield. Now, I don't know about you, Matty. Have you thawed out yet? You warmed up?
I was so cold. Friday night in Sheffield, when you're up, it was open to the elements. So three sides of it were no stand. And it was cold. It was really cold.
That was proper. But I'm just glad it didn't rain or nothing like that, because in that respect we got quite lucky with
Felt
it.
like I was back at Todsall.
Yeah.
Back in the day, that was always the coldest ground.
So anyway, that's how you were, Matty. Lewis, how have you been, mate?
All good, mate. All good. And I had a good weekend. Managed to get out for a little bit, which has been nice. And yeah, it's nice to be back and got a game to review.
We have.
And obviously we wait for Thursday, which we'll talk about at the end. And we have the greatest opening night, as it's been
The greatest
tagged by a
opening
marketing
night.
team.
I like it. So let's dive into this game. Our first game in the Challenge Cup defence.
Yes.
Away at Sheffield, 48 points to 12. Wigan won.
Before
24.
we say that, though, we probably should mention that the Super League teams were all drawn away from home against lower league opposition. That was either a championship club like us, or it could have been an amateur side like Leeds played against an amateur side and Saints played against an amateur side. But we were playing against Sheffield Eagles.
Yeah. And damn right, that's a change this year. And
Yeah.
That obviously.
So that's an extra round we have to play.
Because
We used to come in the last 16.
Yeah.
Which didn't make any sense because I know it's pretty much now the 12 Super League clubs are in the last 16 anyway. It's not quite, but it pretty much is. And it could have been. But it always felt weird that you were in the last 16. 12 of you were in the last 16 without even playing a game. So
At least now it feels like you've progressed to the last
you have to
16.
win 5 games to win the cup now instead of 4, which feels better.
Yeah.
But yeah, 48 points to 12. 24-6 at half-time.
Yeah, exactly mirrored. The first half and second half. Perfectly mirrored.
Before we go through the
Balanced.
tries and what happened, we should say tries for Field, French, Byrne, Eckersley, Walters, Kieran, December and Ellis. A few of them will be glad to get off the...
Some of them off the nuddy run on game week 1.
Adam Kieran, 8 kicks from 8.
Byrne didn't score all last year. He's off the nuddy in first week.
Yeah.
This is a game that the props must eye up for
Yeah.
that naked run just against lower league opposition. Just give it ball close to Lance, let me barrage you over. It's probably not going to happen in a Super League game. I need to take, no offence to Sheffield, but I need to take advantage of the lower opposition and get myself off that nuddy run.
Definitely. So obviously, before we actually get into what happened, we should probably talk about one of the big talking points from this, and that's Wigan's inability to catch a kickoff. And
Well, them kickoffs were just ridiculous. Like no one was catching them.
No, they were tough.
They were coming off side of his boot, swirling in the wind. He didn't know where he was kicking them.
No.
He didn't know where he was kicking them. So how could we know where he was going to kick them? Somehow I always seemed to find turf or drop just in front of somebody. They were like knuckleballs.
Yeah.
They were ridiculous. That's why the game, was close for so long.
Definitely. So let's go into it then. Field, open the scoring. Great work from Cruz.
Yeah, nice little break, wasn't it, off Lehman?
We were still walking around the ground at this point. This was running away from us.
Yeah, we were trying to get around to somewhere that we could see. Cruz breaks through, and he does really, really well to drive through that first would-be tackler and not look for a quick play of the ball, really. Sometimes people would drop and take the quick play of the ball, but he drives through that tackle, gets a kick to Field, and I didn't notice it at the time, but he does really well to stay onside. Jay. Works really hard to drop his pace and stay behind Cruz.
Yeah, I'd say to you, because by this point you'd given your glasses away to somebody else so they could see. And I said to you, you kind of put it on a plate for him to leave in. But on the replay, Field does really well.
You still have quite a lot of work to do.
It tends to be a player, Wiggins, that, doesn't it? Like when they have a bit of, like Marshall sometimes does it on the wing, doesn't he? If he makes a break,
Puts a kick in.
he'll always kick it back. And I suppose because if you've got the pace on inside of you, Field, French, and if it's Marshall kicking it, leave in as well if he's on the pace instead of O'Neill. I suppose you better. It's a good game plan, isn't it? Yeah, good decision. Kick the ball inside. You've got fast lads on inside. Let them get on the end of it.
So we opened the scoring after 2 minutes, and it wasn't long before Sheffield levelled the score 6 apiece.
Because we dropped a kick-off.
Dropped a kick-off, defending our line, I should say. Okay, relatively okay. And then I think it was the 4th tackle, conceding from a scoot over.
The captain, Farrell, scored, right?
I would be... Matty Pete won't be happy with that. The lads won't be happy with that. It's one of them, I think you try... If you're conceding that in the Challenge Cup game when you win 48-12, you're probably not going to be too annoyed. You don't want to do that in a Super League game, in a close fought competition. You don't want to concede one from 9. So yeah, that levels it back up to 6 apiece. And now it's a bit more of a wrestle, really, and the game sort of stays level for the next 5 minutes. Was there any point in this game? I know we're 10 minutes in and it's 6 apiece. Any point of nerve or...
No.
Or just concern?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I can't lie, there was none from me because I couldn't see half the game. Freezing. Give me glasses away. But Bevan French, after 11
I can just see shapes.
It was tough that having to ask you every 2 minutes, who is that? That should be someone, but he's out of position or whatever. I just couldn't work it out.
Is that Mago on now? Is Mago on? No, it's Hill that. No. just see shapes.
It was honestly, it was tough, especially at that far end. But Bevan French's try. Yeah, you pointed this out, Lewis, when we've just been looking through it. The line that French runs, obviously we play out the back and it gets to Farrell, who's playing centre. Bit of a run on the inside, and I'll let you take it away, Lewis.
Yes, I think he gives it up to Marshall, and Marshall cuts back on the inside. I think it's a ball that goes over his head or just slightly behind him or something, so he can't go on the outside into the corner. And yeah, he's running horizontally across the line, about 5 metres or something like that from the goal, 10 metres out from the try line, and you just get French on a lovely straight ball. And I love that when someone's running across the line, they're just like offering the ball, just waiting for someone to make that run. And if you time it correctly, obviously it doesn't go into a forward pass and you charge onto it.
You have to get the weight of the pass perfect.
Yeah,
you see them sometimes and it just barrels into the chest.
But it's so hard to stop as well, because when someone's running onto it like that and you can...
It's hard to stop. Yeah.
Even if there's a guy in front of you, unless he's there and he saw you run and he blindsides you and he's ready to smash you. Like 9 times out of 10, you're just going to back all over it.
If you're running into space, if there's a gap there and you're running at it convincingly, best case you score, worst case you get a really quick play of the ball.
Even if you get smashed, you might get a quick play of the ball.
Yeah. Then it stayed this way, 12-6, 20 minutes. A bit end to end, really.
We had a couple of chances. We had a couple of chances, but we ended up in touch or whatever. But it felt like quite a narrow pitch.
Yeah. Did feel that way in
It felt like a narrow pitch, so we were struggling to get some. Like, we weren't going round them like we would do if it was at the DW, say, or Wembley, especially. We'd go round somebody.
Yeah. But we end up breaking the deadlock. Breaking that 20-minute spell with a try from Liam Byrne. Now, the play before, Sheffield do really well to hold Tyler Dupree up and stop him from scoring over the line. We're going to have to reset on the 10-metre line. And
I like this though, because Dupree sprints back into position to play the ball ready, and I wasn't sure why he did it at first, but I think it's because they've just expended so much energy to stop him. He's like, right, quick, do it again. You might not have done that, Dupree, a while ago. You probably wouldn't have done that. Probably would have took his time.
I think though, this is where you'd be disappointed if you were Craig Lingard. That you've done the hard work to hold him up. You set almost, and all it takes is a little bit of a dummy from 9 of Cruz Leamy, and then Liam Byrne crashing over, knocking a man off. It's just a missed one-on-one tackle, really.
He bulldozes him.
He does, But that close to your line set, you can see the big man lining it up. You have to be numbered up better than that. And I think that's just a little bit of a killer for Sheffield to concede with 10 minutes to go after that 20-minute period. It's just a bit of a killer. And Wigan do what we can do. They get the ball and we have another attacking situation not long after. From the halfway line, Jay puts a little bit of a kick in behind for Liam Marshall, who, would you call it a hack? Sort of hacks it on.
Shin.
Yeah, shins it on. Now, for once in Bevan French's Wigan career, he doesn't really get the bounce that he would have wanted. Means he has to stop and turn back. But he collects the ball and just skips across the line.
I think he still could have scored himself if he wanted to.
Yeah. Gives the ball to Zach Eckersley, who's done the right thing and pushed up on the inside.
This right edge, what Smith just kicked in behind her for Sheffield was Chris Wellham and Ben Jones-Bishop.
Oh, a blast from the past, isn't it?
That's a blast from the past, that
Okay,
partnership.
Chris Wellham was it centre, and then Ben Jones-Bishop leads one going way.
Yeah, when he was at Wake, he was this. Yeah.
But that 5 minutes is a killer if you're a Sheffield player or fan. To be going close to half time at 12-6 and to end up going in 24 points to 6 is a real killer.
Who was the other blast from the past on the Sheffield team? You know, on the other wing.
On the other wing?
Scored the
Matty
second.
Dawson.
Yeah, Matty
Yeah, he's
Dawson.
played for Saints, didn't he?
Dawson Jones is called now.
Dawson
I
Jones.
don't know why we call Matty Dawson Jones. Just
He
some
played
blast,
as well.
blast from the past there.
Prop forward.
Oh,
Batty.
Eddie Batty.
Eddie Batty.
Yeah, Eddie
The
Batty
Broncos.
came off bench.
There's some blast from the past there. 20 seconds to go. Tyler Dupree from a scrum gets a sin bin in.
Yeah, we didn't know what this was at first. We thought he just grabbed his shirt.
Yeah.
And I think he tries to grab his shirt, but he grabbed his ponytail and... That's a tricky one, that, isn't it? I think it's a yellow card, but it's unfortunate for him.
He puts his hand up straight away, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he definitely didn't do it on purpose.
No, and I sort of feel sorry for Dupree though. What is he meant to do? He's grabbing at a shirt because he's been beaten. Is he just supposed to let him run because he's got frizzy hair?
So the interesting thing here is he's been given a grade A, which is 1 penalty point, which no ban. So they're doing this thing now where you collect points, and if you go past a certain number of points in the season, then you get a ban. So Eckersley for a late hit and Dupree for this hair pull are now on 1 point.
No.
The rest of our squad still...
But obviously that carries on from last year.
Yeah.
So all the things from last year have got a point based on the grade that they were.
Mm.
And how many total points you get means that you're closer.
I think if you're always in in front of them for low level stuff, then it'll come back to bite you.
But they're carrying him from last year.
Yes.
So even if you got a ban, you still get the points picked up for it.
Yeah.
But
So
you've been punished, you've got your
Smith and Byrne are on a lot of points.
Because
Smith had that bad
2
one.
reds and a yellow.
I don't mind it starting from now. But if they've done 3 game bans, and you say, when your points are rolling over. Well, no, shit, they've been punished and they've been banned.
Jared's not on any points.
It's 0, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You've got to be punished, but you did your ban. And
The one issue I have now, again, I don't know the technicalities of how it's going to work, but my understanding is that it's a year rolling.
It's 12 months rolling.
12 months rolling. So let's say in round 1, a player last year had got 2 penalty points.
They go off next week.
Right. What are the points total, sorry, for the bans?
I think it's 15, but I might be wrong there.
Right. They would go off next week. But let's take Tyler Dupree, who's got a one penalty point. If his 1 penalty point took him over into the ban, and then the week after, them 2 came off, he'd be back to being 1 point away from a ban.
That won't happen. You can't be banned and then banned again for the same number of points. That won't happen.
But do you not get what I mean, though?
Surely when you get banned, you go to...
0 points again.
Well, maybe you don't.
No, because it's a rolling thing. So if you then get another 5, you get a 2-game ban for a persistent breach.
I don't know anymore.
So,
They think fewer people will get banned because of it. They've done the maths.
Yeah.
They think fewer people will get bans.
but you get what I mean, though.
But it'll pick up on those people who were always in for low level, like, dirty players, but not really doing anything terrible.
Grubby players, too.
Yeah, it should pick up on them.
Do you get what I mean, though?
Yeah,
If I'm
yeah.
sat on 15, and I got 1 in that first game,
Well,
you take it to 16 and get a ban. but then I'd lose 2 and be back on 14. So I'd potentially be 1 point away from another ban.
Yeah, but that would work anyway, whether you 2 came off or not, because then you'd be on 17.
That's what I mean. But then I'd be 3 away from the next one.
Yeah, I don't think, like I say, if you serve your sentence, especially last year, I get if it's a new thing coming in this year, but if you did an offence, you got banned for 3 games and you sat 3 games out, surely sentence is served.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The scales of justice have been rebalanced. You don't to carry those points on. It's like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It's
And
like,
you get new signings who won't have any points behind them, even if they were banned last year. They did terrible things,
So that was half time. 24 points to 6. Wigan come out into the second half and
Still with 12 men.
still with 12 men. 5 minutes in, Lehman from 9 to French. French with a bit of a cut-out ball to Adam Kieran. Wasn't going to make the try line. Throws the ball back inside and falls to Sam Walters. Obviously, a very big man.
Tough to stop from there.
Tough to stop from there.
What do we think about Walters on this game?
yeah, he played a bit of centre, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought he played all right.
Yeah, he's definitely obviously he's the third choice.
Yeah, but I
Second
think
row.
he's really solid. When he comes in, he's really solid. I like him.
Yeah.
He's good.
The one thing we've not really seen from him is what we'd started to see at Leeds is some really big carries. You know, we're running at people's shoulders and getting through the line. There was a couple that he had against Saints for Leeds, and that's the one thing I'd say we'd not really seen. He's been more steady.
If he can play like he did in that semi-final against Lee, where he was hitting those...
Yeah.
You know when French was putting him through?
Just running over the top of people.
Yeah, but he was also being very clever with his lines there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a good option. I mean, look, Isa's retired. Junior, as much as a superstar, is still a young lad.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking game time. Do we want Junior playing
No.
every single game of the age he's in?
No.
I know he's proved he can be a superstar and he can do it, but I'm just thinking longevity, preservation wise, we're going to have to
We're
count.
going to have to consider the minutes.
The minutes really have to take him in.
I don't want him to play 80 minutes in every match.
Yeah, right.
And if he has to miss a week, and then maybe the week after Farrell has a week off.
Well, that's the thing. I would have Walters on the bench, but then I don't think I would take Farrell off. But then Farrell would run a foul of the minute limit, you know. But I'd be tempted to bring Nsemba off. But then Walters is too good to just be getting 20 minutes a game. So it's a tough one.
No, but if he's potentially getting 2 sets of 20,
I'd like to see him get 10, 15 in the middle, and then the last 20 at second row. But I don't think they'll do that.
No. But I do think there's potentially that maybe Farrell and December both play 60, and you get 20 and 20 out of.
I just don't think
Walters.
Farrell ever needs to come off. But if I'm worried about these minute limits, maybe he should.
That's what I mean, especially early on.
I'd never sub Farrell off ever.
No.
For Wigan, I would never sub him off.
No. So again, 4 minutes later, a big thing for Wigan is back-to-back points, and it's something that we've done really well this year. Last year, sorry. And we've started to show this again. 4 minutes later, Dupree comes back on. As he's coming on, Lehman out from 9 again, into Bevan French, takes it to the line and just drops a very, very well-weighted kick.
This was perfect kick.
In behind. Adam Kieran runs onto it, behind the sticks. You see our 2 ugly mugs on the replay if you're eagle-eyed.
Celebrating because Kieran finally had an easy kick, not because we'd scored. Kieran finally got himself an easy kick.
He still took as long.
Kieran takes so long. There was a time we were saying, where is Kieran? He's a bit close here. He must be behind post, and he's not even got ball yet.
But to be fair, I don't mind if he keeps kicking them.
Well, if they go over,
If you go over, it's fine. But if you're going to miss, at least miss quick. That takes it to 36 points to 6. Dupree just comes back on. Sheffield are next to score. Only 4 minutes later, they get into good field position, great shape.
got into good field position because we missed the kick-off.
There's a moral to this story, and we will say later on what happened whilst Wigan had scored a try and were under the sticks. I can't remember who it was from Sheffield.
It was after the Junior and December try. Sheffield's new centre, Bussy.
Just shouting, just do that kick-off again.
Try that kick-off again.
Yeah, it seemed like a bit of a game plan.
Try that kick-off again.
but great shape, I should say. I think it was the fullback looping
Like
around.
Lee Leopard's going right to left.
Yeah. Chris Wellen runs a really, really good line that attracts Adam Kieran. Eckersley has to jump in and bite on him, and then
Matty
get it out
Dawson
to the
Jones.
wing.
Dawson Jones in for the try.
Some experience in that back line.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Really, really well done try. Obviously converts it, gets it to 36 points to 12.
Yeah, Aston nailed the conversion from out wide as well. I think he went into second place in the all-time leading point scorer for Sheffield with them 2 goals. And he's on about 700.
Wow.
His dad's got over 2,000. He's miles ahead, his dad. Mark Aston.
Not much else then. Let's move on. 15 minutes later, December tackled on the left-hand side. At this point, we should mention as well, Bevan French had come off the field. Lehman went into the house and Forber.
Well, Ellis and Thompson came off after 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And didn't come back on. Ellis came back on right at the end. Thompson didn't come back on. And French came off just after.
I was going to say, I think it was before Sheffield scored. I think it was after the second try.
Just after we scored the Kieran try. So just get him wrapped up in cotton wool.
Maybe played just less than 50 minutes.
It's definitely been a thing this and obviously this isn't pre-season, it's a Challenge Cup game, but before the league has started, if you want to kind of call it that time period, obviously, we played kids against Oldham.
Yeah.
Played, 40 minutes against Leeds?
At least, yeah.
If not a bit more with the first team, and then, do you know what I mean, swapped them over for the kids out again, and then like you're saying, Thompson only gets 20 minutes, Ellis only gets 25, 30. Well, it seems to be a thing that's kind of reserving the players on the way for the...
It might be worth mentioning. This season's very, very different to last year, isn't it?
Yeah.
With the sense of we had to be ready for round 2. Last year we had to be ready for round 2 for the World Cup Challenge. We don't now. We need to be peaking July, August, September, ready for the playoffs. Ideally peak Challenge Cup time, set again and then go again for the playoffs, and the grand final is the hope. There's no need to be at it immediately, and you might see a little bit of a slower Wigan possibly for the first few weeks while they just get into the swing of things.
I think it's thingy as well. They want to compete for everything, don't they? Well, if you want to compete for everything, it's going to end up being a long season.
It's a squad game.
You got to, you got to use all your squad, haven't you?
And Harvey Hill's been fantastic. He deserved the reward of starting this game. He's been fantastic since pre-season and this game.
I thought Liam Byrne was very, very good.
Liam Byrne was exactly what I want Liam Byrne to be. He was direct and never did anything fancy.
Just made his tackles.
Made his tackles, kept his tackle height low, and he was direct. That is all I want from Liam Byrne. He did that perfect.
Yeah. So, 70th minute, December tackled on the left-hand side into Cruz Lehman, first receiver.
Smith changed direction, didn't he?
That was it. There was a little bit of change once Lehman had gone into the half-backs. Lehman did a lot at first receiver and Smith at second, so a little bit of a tactical change there, rather than getting the hands into French.
Lehman's distribution is fantastic, isn't it?
Apart from this one, where he throws it at Smith's toes, it sits upright, and Smith jinks back inside, gets a really quick ball out to Sam Walters, who's now switched to the left centre. Him and Farrell have a bit of a switch.
Yeah, he did nicely, yeah.
Does
good
really
centre
well.
play this. Again, outside of his opposite man. Yeah.
He did nicely, though.
Gets outside, goes round, shows a nice turn of pace, throws the ball back inside.
Deliberately ricocheted off a Sheffield Eagles defender.
Yes.
Deliberately ricocheted.
Deliberately.
To then fall perfectly into. That's why I've given him the assist on our stats page.
Yeah.
Then
he deserves.
Then so it deliberately ricocheted into the
path of December.
Path of Junior and December.
But with that, I would say, throws it back. Ball hits the ground and December picks it up and scores. 3 minutes left. 42
we were on there.
42 at that point. A little bit of a crash ball to Cade Ellis, who'd come back on.
You know the one after naked run there?
Yeah.
Cade Ellis came on, scored immediately.
Got that to 46 points to 12, and obviously Kieran converts to make it 48.
We have to mention Kieran making 8 out of 8 goals on a very tough night for goal kickers.
Yeah, they do some very good goal kicking, and we saw the issues that people had with the high ball. Wigan had a couple of problems with the high ball where they couldn't get to it and it bounced and mainly got away with it.
It was swirling the wind, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, really windy. Obviously, with the ground itself, there's not...
There was one of Kieran's kicks where it looked like it was going through the middle and then it just blew to the side.
It hit the post.
It just hit the post and still went over, and thought, wow, that's really taking it, the wind there.
But it's actually probably something that isn't really considered. But the no stands around, there just being the one stand.
Well, also in two of those directions, there were no buildings or anything.
Yeah.
It was just flats.
And it just let the wind build up, and well, we could feel it. Obviously, it was cold. Anyone there will tell you how cold it was. But it's not really a side effect of the game that you would consider immediately. That wind, and it just seemed to build up and cause chaos. There were lots of kicks that landed on the floor, lots of kick-offs that caused problems. It caused a problem for the kickers.
But goal kicking on both sides was fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing, that the wind stayed consistent, so you could use it.
Does Kieran kick Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no question about it anymore. He's the number one kicker.
Yeah.
He's one of the best in the league, and he should kick every goal for us if he's on the pitch.
Yeah.
I still like Harry warming up with the tea as well, just in case. But
Yeah, it's good to have options, isn't it? It's good.
You've got Harry Smith, though, listen, and something happens to Kieran.
Yeah.
You've got an England international goal kicker as your second choice. It's just a shame.
who loves big games?
Yeah. Any big game, I'll still let Harry kick, because he's nailing everything in a big game.
Well, no, Kieran nails everything in big games as well, so I love Kieran.
Big game Harry is different level for me.
Kieran's my goal kicker.
So that was the game. We obviously progressed through to the next round. And nice to start the season with a win. A little bit of a challenge. Wasn't a walkover by any
No, it wasn't
stretch.
walkover, no.
We had to do our first share of defending. I think that was a big thing about it. A lot of people stood up. I thought Hill and Byrne were really, really good. Luke Thompson and a lot of the senior players were exactly what you'd expect of them. But the options of Farrell or Walters at left centre, if we were to pick up an injury, looked really good. Eckersley did his job on the wing. We know he's probably a centre or a full back, but he did a good job on the wing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of young lads, or maybe not in that first 17, really put the name forward for game time.
Well, I think Forber certainly didn't hurt his chances for playing in that bench 9 spot.
Definitely not.
Professional job.
Yeah. Well and truly.
There's games, some games that you just have to win, in there.
Yeah. Win it, go to Sheffield.
Get yourself in the hat
for
the next round.
Get yourself there and get yourself
I think the next round is being drawn at... The draw for the next round, is being drawn at half-time of the St Helens and Salford game.
Right.
I believe. So it'll be interesting. Obviously, there are 5 championship clubs left in it.
We'll talk about them games in a moment.
We will. So there are 10 other Super League clubs and 5 championship clubs available to be drawn. Obviously, we could be at home this time.
So let me get that right. So there's 3 guaranteed all Super League last 16 games.
Yeah. At least. Yeah. At least. I mean, there could be an all championship game.
Yes, yeah.
But you think about the maths there. We've got 1 in 3 chance of drawing another championship side.
Yeah.
And it could be there's no seeding, so it could be anyone. I mean, let's be honest, it's got to be Warrington and Leeds, isn't it? based on who we usually draw.
Warrington quarter-final.
Hear me out now. Leeds. It'll be Leeds first. Warrington.
Quarters. You always get one.
Hull KR semi.
And then whoever is left in the final.
Whoever's won the other side. Saints or Leeds.
Someone we don't usually play in the cup.
Yeah.
It does feel like Warrington is a quarter-final and Hull KR's now the semi, and Leeds always play.
Leeds is always last 16.
Why does he always play them 3 games? If it's Leeds away... No, I'm not. It's not going to be Leeds away. It can't be again.
The last 2 years, isn't it?
No, it wasn't last year. Who was it last year? No, it was Castlereagh last year. It was the 2 years before that where it was Leeds away.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Warrington in the quarters. Who was our quarter?
Semi-final
We didn't
last-
play as many games last year, did we?
No. Semi-final last year was
Hull KR.
Hull KR. That was the final. Yeah, can't wait for that draw, actually. Hopefully there's some good games pulled out. It would be good to see a couple of championship sides draw each other. I think if they drew each other and a couple could get into quarter-finals, that'd be really good for the game.
Yeah, one gets into last 8 at least. I mean, we'll talk about it in a bit, but another big side going to Odsal might be good.
Yeah. Right, we'll take a break there. When we come back, we're going to talk about the games, the other quarter, the other Challenge Cup games. So we're back after that break, and we're going to have a quick chat about the rest of the Challenge Cup. A few games on the Friday as well as us. I'm going to start with Workington versus Lee. Obviously, remember all these Super League sides are playing away from home. Lee ran out 60 points to 0 winners, 22-0 at half time. Obviously, the professionalism and the full time aspect of Lee.
Workington are a League One side.
Yeah, but played a bit of an effect there that Lee ran away with it a little bit in the second half. Plenty of tries. They sent out a good side, Lee.
Yeah, they had to. I heard that Workington gave it their all for the full 80 minutes. So
that's all they can do. That's all they can do. Obviously, O'Brien's still playing in the halves with Lamb. They've not used that. Instead, they're still looking. It was looking like a decent side from Lee.
Yeah, played on.
We're going to move on to York. Also on Friday. 3 games on the Friday. York 2, Hull KR 44, 16 points to 2
at
half time. Again, Hull KR running away with it a little bit in the second half. It's going to be a common theme, that, isn't it? Points being scored late on in these games, just purely down to the professionalism and the fitness, the pre-season being a little bit longer. A lot of these teams have already played a competitive game in the previous round of the Challenge Cup, so they have got some minutes in the legs, probably why they started off better. But again, the fitness comes in. 2 tries from Mikey Lewis, 2 for Reece Martin. Hiku, Davies, Evalds, Tanganoa, obviously.
Big boys. And I bet they scored plenty of conversions as well with Reece Martin kicking now.
6 from 8, not as good as Adam Kieran. Just Mickey Mack playing, was in a fight in 4 minutes for Paul McShane.
Yeah, well, they're not going to take a backward step, them two, are they?
2 proper experienced hookers there. I think that was Jarrod Warrior-Hargreaves' first game.
It was, first competitive game.
So, plenty of players out there. Good result for Hull KR. Again, I don't think any of these sides have put a bad effort up, and they've shown. If you're a York supporter, obviously you won in Amsterdam.
Yeah, but you knew this was going to be a different animal going against one of the top teams in Super League. I mean, maybe if they'd drawn one of the weaker teams in Super League, they might have had a chance, but
Hull KR are a top 4 side.
Yeah.
Halifax Catalan. Over on to Saturdays. 6 games on Saturday. Catalan really actually showing the respect here, because they opened the scoring with a penalty after 55 minutes. It was 0-0 at half time. 2-0 after 55, and they scored a couple of tries late on. Is that a worrying sign for Catalan? They've sent a decent side out.
I think it's a good sign for Halifax. I'd be pleased if I was a Halifax supporter there with keeping them to 0 for 55 minutes and keeping them to 2 for an hour.
Really good.
I don't think it's something you worry on if you're Catalan. You've got, it's like if you get out there without any injuries,
We'll see what you like next week.
You win.
But this is the thing, though. Sam's gone down. Pulled hamstring. Went off injured.
Well, I said this last week on the pre-prediction thing. I can't remember.
Well,
can't be relying on it.
Can't be relying on him. It's nothing to do with his knee.
Was his hamstring what he did on his return last year against Huddersfield?
I think it was the other side, though.
Or was it the other hamstring?
From what I said. But again, they sent out a good side. Ended up with a win. It's one of them, you walk away.
They were in the hat. They could get they could get a home fixture in the next round. That'll be very tricky for whoever gets.
Yes, big time. Right. The one or two big scores here. First one was Leeds versus the West Warriors at Twyford Avenue Sports Ground. Leeds winning 92-0. Hat-trick for Ryan Hall and Sam Lasoni. Sinfield and Gannon both getting tries apiece, and then Lum, Connor, Smith, Frawley, Edge.
I mean, Sam Lasoni and Ryan Hall should get hat-tricks against West.
If Ryan Hall's getting one-on-one
with all due respect, West London Warriors, they're amateur side.
Play in the conference, don't they?
They're in the conference.
There's someone who actually I used to play with at uni, a guy called Sammy, who plays for the West Warriors. He put a thing in the Facebook group that we have, the old boys group, for all the guys who's graduated, saying he was playing, he's got a chance to play. So
That's good.
The thing about the Challenge Cup, innit? Meant to think he's gone against Ryan Hall and, England international.
What's his name, sorry?
Samuel Griffiths.
I just off the bench.
Come off the bench.
So he come off the bench.
He's up done when Sam Lasoni's coming on.
Willie Poachin's lad played.
Yeah.
The West Warriors.
14 out of 16 kicks for Jake Connor.
But he was still leg on Monday.
Leeds, should I say? Sorry, Lee. My mistake. Have made a new signing. They've gone back into the market. Signed a centre from Australia.
Yeah, he's played 54 times in the Queensland Cup, never in the NRL. So,
Coming here with a point to prove.
he's definitely got a point to prove.
Interesting to see how he goes. Right. St Helens played West Hull at Hull KR. Obviously, a little bit of interest there with it was being played at Hull KR.
This was another amateur side, I should say. This was another amateur side.
They weren't allowed to play at home, were they? Or
they didn't want to.
They didn't want to.
Yeah, I don't know if they were allowed to. They didn't want to anyway.
But again, there was a little bit of an issue there. They projected how many people would come. Only wanted one stand opening. Hull KR obviously met that demand, and then 1,000 more turned up than what they expected. Hull KR doing a really good thing, opening up the rest of the stand, but it did mean a delay. A lot of people getting in without payment. And it's nice to see actually that a lot of people have paid the money that turned up and went. Of West Hull put the bank details on Facebook and said if you went,
dangerous.
Yeah, but if you went and you want to pay, and quite a lot have paid, so really good signs. Benison, obviously starting on the wing with Murphy.
Robertson starting in centre was unusual for me. Well, it might not be if you're a Saints supporter, let us know, but it felt unusual that Robertson was starting.
Well, he went to full back for the second half, didn't he?
Did Wellesby go off?
Wellesby went off at that time.
I suppose. And just maybe it's a chance to get him in. I mean, they did that with Wellesby, didn't they? When he was that age, they put him at centre, just to get him in.
Yeah, they played a bit off the bench, didn't he? Where he was for the utility.
He should play 10 games, I suppose, shouldn't he? This year, and just get him in where you can. He's a good player, a talented lad, isn't he?
Saw on social media saying a little bit of a gesture to the West Hull team. Paul Wells delivered like a signed shirt for them all, shook their hands, wished them well, thanked them for the game and hosting them today and everything like that. They were a bit of a classy move, I think, from St Helens to do that. Told them all to enjoy the night and stuff like that. Obviously, it's going to be a highlight of those players' careers, kind of saying they got to play against some legendary players there on St Helens teams. I thought that was a classy little gesture. And it's to support the amateur game. And,
that's the magic of the cup, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
There was another classy gesture. Lee donated their entire fee to Workington.
Yeah. Because that'd still be a lot of the thing, wouldn't it? That even though you're the home team, you have to pay out to the away team. So all them clubs that have hosted games will have to pay out to Super League. I would be surprised if most of them don't send the money back. Hull FC, how long did it take them last year to get a win? 10 games?
They won. I don't know. They didn't win the first cup game, did they?
Whenever they played London.
Yeah.
It was like round 7 or something. But Hull FC beat York Acorns 52 points to 6.
No, not York Acorns. That's not their nickname. Not their nickname. York Acorn. I believe it's a place. I have family in York. It's not York Acorns, but that would be a funny name.
It would be. Quite a few played.
Playing against them's a tough nut to crack.
That's poor. That is poor, that.
Come on, right off the spot there. I think that's good and I'll take it.
Yeah, well done.
I can't give you credit
well,
for that.
Anyway, what was you saying about Hull FC?
Plenty played. Hat-trick for Martin. Cust and Asiata getting on the try list.
Oh, yeah. Asiata came through the game okay then?
Yeah. Came off in the 55th minute. Would have expected that.
That's good, yeah.
There's so much pressure on this whole side. I know we're going to talk about it in a bit, but there is so much pressure, and I think just getting a win, could you imagine if they slipped up?
They
were never going to.
But if they had drawn against Sheffield or Bradford or...
They got a good draw, though.
Yeah.
Definitely got a good draw. Right. Gull Vikings played Wakefield. Wakefield win 82 points to 0.
Gull Vikings, it must be said, had already beaten London Broncos in this competition to get to this far.
And then who amateur team, I take.
They've just joined League One, so I
Just
suppose
joined
you
League
call it maybe semi-pro.
Yeah,
I don't know what you'd say at that level, but they've just joined League One.
And where's it based?
Goole is, I think it's Humberside. Yeah,
Sorry,
you're pointing towards the northeast there.
Yeah.
I think it's Humberside off the top of my head.
Sorry, I'm putting you under pressure there.
They've got a lot of. I mean, Scott Taylor's the coach and Jamie Shaw's the captain. I think it's there's a whole connection to it. There is. Oh, I don't know. They make something there. There's.
You're putting me right on the spot here, Matty. You're looking at me like
you can Google it. They make something in Goole. I don't know what it is. I can't remember what it is, but there's an industry.
Go on, have a quick Google search.
They definitely make something in Goole. Just type in what do you make in Goole.
Meanwhile, while you do that, let's talk about the game.
Meanwhile, Wakefield.
15 tries, 11 converted.
Yeah.
Walmsley, hat trick for UL. I've not heard of him. I don't know who he is.
Who was it say again?
UELE.
Oh, Caleb ULE. He's a forward.
Hat trick for him off the bench.
Just letting you know, Goole has a rail village and it's famous for its twin water towers nicknamed Salt and Pepper.
Oh, that's interesting.
If that's the right Goole I've got. But yeah, that is what Goole is famous
Goole's
for.
famous
As well as
for.
beating the London Broncos to advance in the Champions Cup.
And being the newest
Addition to League One.
League One team.
Yeah, big win. Couple of big minutes for plenty of players there. Nice to see Matt McMeekin, Johnston, Truman all playing for Wakefield. It's going to be a big season for Jake Truman.
It is. I hope Wakefield go well this season. When they was in Super League last time, because they didn't really have much investment, obviously we know what the facilities were like over there, the Kevin Proctor saying it was all humbling, very, like joining Wakefield with experience and stuff like that. But now they've had the investment, they've had someone who's backing it, who wants to invest in the game. Best of luck to them.
Train carriages are made in Goole.
Do you know what I mean? Train carriages.
Train carriages.
I see.
Moving on. I don't even know how to carry on.
Why does it wait till Barrow come up? Because they'll tell you what they make there as well.
Whitehaven hosted Warrington. 22-0 at half time to Warrington. Ended up winning 44 points to 4. Tries spread around, kicks spread around. Probably as you'd expect. Again, another good effort from a Whitehaven side. He'll be looking to have the good season. It's a difficult one to discuss these because if a Super League team runs away with it, everyone says, well, you should. If you get dragged into a close one, it's the end of the world and you're not a great side. And the reality is probably somewhere in between. Like there's no real perfect outcome here.
You can't read too much into.
I don't think you can take much of these games.
Not at all.
Unless it's a shock upset, like we'll discuss in a second. But
You've ruined his big moment there.
I was just about to say we'll leave that till the end.
He's going to bring us on to a big shot.
Should we go on to it? Let's go on to it. Bradford, Castleford. First of all, nice to see Odsal on a TV again, watching it through the sports.
Yeah, but they put the camera on the wrong side. They put the camera facing the empty stand with a few people in. They put the camera on the other stand. I saw some pictures that were rocking that stand where the camera was. It was rocking.
Yeah, it was. 17 points to 0 at half time to Bradford. Great start. Ridiculously good start. Couldn't ask for any better.
Yeah, I thought Jimmy Meadows, who played for London last year in Super League, I thought he had the ball on a string when he was putting his kicks in. Yes. He was doing a brilliant job.
I wanted to say with this, it was such a Brian Noble side. But we can talk about it because we've seen the game fully.
We managed to watch
very direct, putting people back in on the inside, knowing how to play Odsal. It's not the easiest ground to go to.
His outside backs are massive. His forwards are massive. They just run downhill. Don't do any fancy stuff.
I was going to say that's a big winger centre partnership. Ockenbaugh, Blake, Gill, and Tafua.
Jadon Ockenbaugh was on the wing with Wonga Blake inside him. Just absolutely enormous right side.
That Gill's a big one.
Gill's a big lad.
George Tafua known for smashing everyone who was at Wakefield, and then two halfbacks who had a very good job. Plenty of Super League experience there in Lawrence, and Franklin Pele came off the bench.
Yeah, I like the back
Jordan
row.
Lilly.
Fulton played well, G played well, Donaldson scored the first try. I like their back row. It's obviously not a Super League side, but
the outline.
There's a good championship side there. There's a really good championship side and a really good coach.
If you could take the majority of that squad and add some Super League players to it, they would do okay in Super League. I don't think it's a million miles away. Well, they probably need 5 or 6.
It's probably as good a squad as London had last year.
Yeah.
Probably about as good as that.
Yeah. I was impressed with the full-back, Holmes.
Yeah. He scored a great try.
Scored a great try. He made a great defensive tackle on the
Josh Sim,
the Castleford winger. But it's probably worth mentioning, obviously, they kicked a drop goal at 12-0 and then scored again to make it 17 points to 0.
That was the try where he went the length of the field there, Holmes.
Yeah, Castleford got back into it, taking it back to 17 points to 12.
Yeah, I felt like in that second half, Bradford got a bit tight. Because they were winning 17-0, they got a bit tight and
they stopped playing.
They went into a bit of a defensive holding pattern, which is fine. It was fine, but it just felt like they were inviting Cass back into it a bit.
Yeah.
And then...
you got to remember this Cass had some good strike players, though.
Yeah.
There's Dejanazzi, Tex Hoy, the people who can put points on. As much as you want to criticise the park or criticise maybe certain positions or whatever, they have got people who can put points on.
Yeah. Did you just feel like... So it felt like Bradford had been outgaining them all game. And then they just settled into a bit playing it safe and inviting Cass on a bit, and Cass got the 3 tries to match them.
I was going to say they got 2 pretty much back to back.
Yeah, yeah.
17-12.
You worry at that point all your hard work's going to be undone.
And I think it was a brave call from Jordan Lilly to hit the drop goal to take it to 18 points to 12. Because if you end up losing that game, everyone says you should have took a shot at getting another try. But game management, Tex Hoy scores with 60 seconds left.
Brilliant try.
Doing what he does really, really well.
But I want to shout out Ronan Michael, the prop forward for Bradford, Irish prop forward for Bradford. He sees Hoy's gone through, beats the full back, and he sprints back as fast as he can right at the end of the match to stop Hoy going under the sticks.
Yeah, and then he gets 5 yards in, really, but
he gets a bit in, but this Michael stops him from going all the way under the post, and that makes the kick difficult. And I think, I hope he didn't have to buy a pint that night, this lad Michael, because that was a great effort to win his team the game.
Yeah,
because he made the kick difficult. That's an easy kick. You back casting extra time, don't you? With the extra, with the
fitness,
extra fitness level. But Hoy misses the goal. All the Cass fans who thrown the pint pots over each other then feel a bit silly because they've thrown all the pints away. And
I'm sorry, right? That is my biggest hatred.
Throwing pints,
especially when the video shows him 10 seconds earlier pick his pint off the floor to just throw it. He didn't throw it.
He wasn't
in celebration. That really winds me up. Why?
I don't like throwing pints either, and I especially hate it when people pick it up and look around for someone to throw it at.
If it's celebrating what you do in your own time, might throwing pints at people. That's
what people do. That's what he did on that video. That Cass fan, he picks his pint up when they score. Doesn't even celebrate. Picks his pint up. He looks around and just launches it at someone.
Anyway, we're going to move on.
They cost enough.
They do.
Drink the things.
Yeah.
They have some 2-pinters, don't they?
That's what he launched. He launched a
2-pinter as well.
It was a double.
That's even worse.
Why he still had a 2-pinter left at the 80-minute mark, I don't know. But
he definitely planned it out. He was never drinking it, was he? I've got an idea.
So that was the Super League team out. Obviously, we said 11 had got through. That was the one that lost. And you know what? People were talking if Salford, unfortunately, if things haven't been solved with Salford, that Bradford might have been the team to get into Super League. So
let's talk about Salford for a second, because they'll be coming up on this, but there was a time where they were going to have to play a squad to the sustainability cap, which was they were going to have to field 18 players whose combined wages were under 1.2 million. As a sustainability measure.
That's what the league had said.
That's what the league had said. You can afford 1.2 million a year, so you have to pay all your players if you can. But the players you put on the pitch are only allowed to add up to 1.2 million. So all your big names can't play. Otherwise, they'll not field the team. There was a danger that's what was going to happen in this game, which would have made it interesting. And then the first Super League game against St Helens, which would have made that not interesting. Luckily, the money man that we spoke about last week has arrived.
Paid all the debt off.
Paid the debt off. Is a Swiss fella. Which I didn't know he was a Swiss fella. But Great news for Salford.
Yeah.
Great news
Yeah.
for Super League.
Massive. And
Great
then
news for Rugby League, really.
obviously they get a good result at the Midland Hurricanes. 12-10 at half time. They ended up winning 46-10.
Yeah, hung on for a long time.
Would have been really interesting, obviously, if that situation had occurred. Batley.
Midlands Hurricanes. It just doesn't roll off the tongue, that does it?
No.
They used to be called Coventry Bears.
Yeah, it's a big change, that, really.
Midlands Hurricanes. Midland Hurricanes might sound best.
Batley beat Dewsbury 24 points to 4. Sammy Kabula playing for Batley.
Yeah.
Featherstone, big win against Ince Rose Bridge. Local amateur side, obviously.
Yeah, local to us, yeah.
Yeah, you'd expect that, wouldn't you?
Going quite far.
But with this new format, it's giving them a chance to go somewhere like Featherstone and play a game against what is almost full-time opposition. I know it's part-time still, Featherstone, but they
The one thing I don't
get
get,
decent money.
obviously all Super League teams have had to go away from home to anyone.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Championship clubs don't have to go away to, like, if it's an amateur
If they
side.
draw an NCL team,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just think if they just said the lower ranked team got the home fixture,
I don't know. What if it's two from the same division?
it's just how it's drawn out.
How it's drawn out? Maybe.
I just think would be perfect. I'm not saying they would have been able to host the game at Ince, but who knows? It might have ended up with a Robin Park, more money for Ince, but who knows? 28-0 at half time. They stuck in well. Featherstone run away with it in the second half.
Good for them lads, though. Got to the last 32 as Challenge Cup for Ince Rose Bridge. Is a good result, that, isn't it?
Great experience for them. The Crusaders played Widnes. Were winning 20 points to 18 at half time. Lost 26 points to 8. Very close second half.
No, that can't be right. That can't be right, can it?
It was 20 points to 18 at half time to the Crusaders.
Yeah.
And Widnes win 26 points to 20.
Right, okay.
8 points to 0 was the second half score.
Right, yeah, okay.
Really, really close. Patrick Arvan playing for Northwell Crusaders. Going against back his old favourite club.
Pam Walk loves the Tigers, that man.
He's still going.
He was a menace back in the day, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
If you give him early ball, he was a
Big
menace.
dude on the wing. Kick goals as well.
Yeah. A big year for Widnes, this. They need a good year.
Yeah, they do.
Because they were all right last year. They need a good year to build on it.
Let's talk about the last Super League club. They went away. Huddersfield went away to Hunslet. We're winning 12-6 at half time. Again, run away with it with 22 points in the second half. A decent side put out by Huddersfield.
Tell me that's Billy Eden scoring for Hunslet.
Oh, it could be. It could be.
It's Eden.
I
don't think it's Billy Eden.
Decent side put out by Huddersfield. Galgai at full back. Baby Swift, Lola here. Plenty of experience there. Greenwood, Burgess, Wolford. It's a strong side that they put out.
Yeah.
Good result, obviously, to get some points in the second half. Big season for them this year.
They need a good start, don't they?
Last one. Oldham versus Barrow. Oldham probably expected to win this. 42 points to 4.
Yep.
Strong performance. Ian Thornley getting on the tries.
Oldham look good.
Well, I've just checked the team. There's some big names there playing.
That's
Josh Drinkwater,
that's
Gilbertson.
Sambu. That's Sambu what's playing.
Elijah
That's the
Taylor
Oldham.
used to be at Salford.
Yeah, he did. He was a good player, him.
Dudson, Drinkwater, you've got there.
Matty Ashurst. They've signed well, Oldham.
There's some good,
They sound well.
good ex-Super League players there.
And who was it against?
Barrow.
What did they make there? Submarines.
Submarines.
Yeah.
Wow.
How do you know that?
That's famous, that. Barrow makes submarines. That's famous.
Right. We're going to take a break. We've talked about the Challenge Cup and we're going to come back and then talk about this Super League round coming up.
Round one.
So we've gone for a little bit of a change now on predictions. We're gonna try a new way to make our predictions a little bit more fun.
A little bit more unpredictable, you could say.
Yeah, a little bit more unpredictable. A lot of the fixtures last year, we all went for the same team. So we're going to use the bookies to give us what the handicap is.
To give us a point spread.
And we'll take it from there. So just for example, Wigan League, we will talk about this game first of all, but Wigan are a minus 14 start. I do think Wigan will win by more than that. We're not predicting Wigan games. We all think Wigan will win most games quite convincingly. But that's how it'll work.
I don't know if that's a lot of points. 14's a lot of points.
Yes.
Don't know if, I think we'll win. I think we'll win, but I don't know if that's enough. I think that's might be too many points, really.
So, what do we think? Wigan have obviously got a little bit of an injury issue with Ethan Havard now out. The big question is going to be who earns that spot to start with. For me, it's between Hill or Byrne. He favoured Hill in the Challenge Cup game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him do the same again. Do you think there's any potential changes on the bench? Maybe a Walters.
Well, if Wardle comes back in, then I imagine that'll be Walters to the bench.
The question is who misses out. I think Bob was guaranteed a spot. Was that bench 9?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
And then it's a question mark of
Byrne, Dupree, Mago.
You could throw Hill in there as the starting prop. It's only 2 of them plus the starter. There's a real query there for Matty P.
Interesting. I mean, it's good to have 5 props that you can rotate if you're just picking 4 a game. Or 6 if you're picking 5 a game,
Yeah. Any other thoughts on this game?
I'm looking forward to seeing what Lee can do, because they're a bit of a surprise package for me. They're an unknown quantity compared to a lot of the teams. I know we spoke about this last week, but there's a few players there that I think, I don't know much about. I think could be good.
I'm looking forward to the night. They've sold, as of now, as we're recording this, I think they've announced it's 19,000 tickets they've sold. So it's going to be a packed. I won't be surprised if that gets above 20,000 on the actual night. So it's going to be a packed one. They've got Aladdams, haven't they, for the pre-match entertainment.
Yeah.
Obviously kicking this round off.
Putting a good spectacle.
The champion should host the first game.
Yeah. I'm glad it's Wigan and Leeds, a battle on the border. It means something to both teams. There's a bit of, like you said, they're doing the big build-up for it, which is good. It's what I want opening night Super League to be.
Raise a banner. Don't know why I don't do that.
Yeah.
Bit of a celebration of the winning.
Previous year.
Yeah. They should kick off the season. The champion should always kick off the season at all.
It's going to be a really weird game, this. And I just think Lee have got a bit of a free hit here. They've obviously not got a great record against Wigan in recent times.
No.
Bit of a free hit there. Playing the champions on the first game at home. They're probably going into it expecting Wigan should be favourites.
They'll be smelling an upset.
There'll be a few players there looking to kickstart a season. A few unknown quantities that will probably take the pressure off them. People going, we don't know how they're going to start the season. They've almost got a bit of a free hit here, really. And if they could cause an upset, that'd be a massive start for them. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Next game is Friday night, and we're starting off with Catalans, Hull FC. Hull FC have a 10-point start.
Where's this being played?
In Catalan.
See, I don't think that's enough points.
No, I don't think 10 points is enough.
Catalan to cover the 10 points, and I think
I could see this being a big win for Catalan.
You never know, because
they've got a lot to prove.
Catalan weren't strong in last week, but we can't read too much into that.
I
think that's going to actually play a factor into it.
Catalan at home.
I'm interested to see Hull FC's actual lineup with all the signings.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've got way too many squad.
They got rid of Abdul
last season. Obviously, Abdul's got to be interesting to see how they're going to line up, how they're going to run out, and see what Cartwright's been able to do with them.
So we're all going Catalans by more than 10.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's fair enough. Hull KR, Castleford. Now, Castleford have got an 18-point start, 3 converted tries. Obviously got a better kicker this year in Reece Martin, so that's going to play a factor into this. But again, I think Hull KR are going to make a strong start. Obviously, after missing out on the league leaders last year, right towards the end, I think they're going to aim to make a great start. And I think a lot of their season's going to be built on having a good start and carrying that momentum through. So I can see KR winning by more than 18.
I'll take the points and go Cass. I don't think they're going to win the game, but I think they'll get within 18.
Yeah, it's played at Craven Park, this one, isn't it? So they're going to Hull KR. They're going to be big expectations at Craven Park opening night on opening day, and what's going to be a very big season. The fans will be expecting a bit. Go on, I'll go KR. KR to put a spectacle, blow them out the water.
Now, Leeds, Wakefield. Wakefield have got a 10-point start in this game.
That feels like a lot.
It feels like a lot, and I'm going to be honest, I was going to go Wakefield to win outright anyway. So I'm taking Wakey with +10 start.
I'll take Wakey in the points as well.
Probably another difference. I'll go Leeds.
Leeds
Who
to
do you
come out.
think wins the game outright?
I think Leeds win the game, but
Yeah, I
it's
think
close.
Leeds will win. But yeah, 10 points could possibly sway it.
I think it's
Leeds
Leeds.
will win.
I think it's Leeds close.
Yeah, I just think Wakey will spend all off season thinking we get off to a good start.
Either way, I think this is a close game. I think this will be a good one to watch.
3 o'clock on Saturday, be a great game. St Helens, Salford. Salford have a 16-point start.
That's too many points for me again. I like predicting them close. I think that's going to be a close game.
I think Saints win, but I don't think they win by 16.
I agree.
So I'm going Salford with the +16 start.
Salford in the points for me.
Yeah, I went different. I'm going to stick with you guys. I'm going. Salford. I'm going with the points.
Our last game, Battle of the Burgess. Huddersfield, Warrington. Huddersfield have got a 10-point start at home. And you know what? I'm gonna trust the process.
Oh no! Oh, you sat
I
too
think-
close to him.
Seriously, I've been down this road. Don't do it.
You sat too close to him. You've caught the Huddersfield bug.
I'm only saying that because in my head I could see Warrington winning maybe 2 to 6 points. I think 10's a lot of points.
I think Warrington cover the 10 points.
Yeah, I think it's not enough. I think Wire.
Well, that'd be interesting then.
That's a bit more of a dynamic, doesn't it? So the predictions rather than just, we think all favourites are going to win again.
Yeah.
And then we always try to go a bit different.
You end up playing a bit of the game, don't
And then
you?
the favourites win, you know.
So, been a good first episode back, first regular season, first actual review of a game.
Yeah.
Good win for Wigan, good start. But it still feels exciting that Super League started now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely, yeah. No, Thursday's going to be good.
I'm looking forward to Thursday.
Opening night, Battle of the Borough.
Yeah.
Latham's in, 19,000 packed into the stadium.
At
Set
least.
that's set up for a good opening night. It's good for the game, that.
It is, yeah.
Get there early. Last year, first game, World Cup Challenge, people complaining about there being a queue after turning up 5 minutes before the game. Like 15,000 people trying to get in. Turn up early and actually get yourselves in. And use all the turnstiles.
Yeah.
One turnstile not used last year.
That's
my mode.
That was a problem for the FA Cup on Saturday. There were people queuing over the bridge.
That's my
And
complaint.
then them other ones down by the north's corner. There was nobody there.
Should be a great game.
Yeah.
I think that's it, really. Nice to be back. Nice to review a game.
Yeah.
It is.
Thank you for coming on, Matty. Thanks, Lloyd.
See you on Thursday.
Always a pleasure, mate.
See you next week.